Today on Drawbli, Ben is drawing
all sorts of faces and things.
Faces and
oh man,
things.
I never do this line. It's so hard.
Oh my gosh, it is really hard. It's a lot of responsibility. This man is the cutest, by the way, before we go too much farther. But hey, hit that subscribe button if you are new around here and comment. Ben, this is your line.
This is my part?
This
Oh
is your
god,
line.
gosh, everything's mixed
Yeah.
up. Comment below or something.
Oh my gosh, comment below with ideas of what we can do to improve as artists and share your work online using the hashtag Drawbli.
Wow. I've really dropped the ball
One
this
of
episode.
us is carrying the weight here, but hey, this man is carrying the weight of his gorgeous face.
I've done 5 portraits here where my whole goal was to focus on the lines, the sketch. I didn't really take it too far. I do this rough initial sketch for each of these that you're about to see, and then I fade that out, and then I go back over top of them and continue to work on them a little more.
Very
continuing
cool.
to sketch.
Yeah, 5 portraits. 5 portraits. That is amazing.
Yeah, so there's the first one.
I just think this has so much charm. I love this face. I love how you've drawn it here. What a great warm up, I can assume.
Yeah. My initial goal, speaking of warm-ups, was to kind of treat them all pretty rough and quick and not spend a ton of time on them. Just mainly focus on a sketching. Sketch was the word on my brain when I was creating these.
The word
I
is
wanted them to
sketch.
feel more sketchy. I wanted to focus on lines. But some of them I definitely spent a lot longer on than what I would call a
That's
sketch.
fair. Well, sometimes, once you're all warmed up, you start to want to spend longer on them, especially if you've been drawing for a while. Instead of getting that sense of tiredness, oh no, I'm ready to be done, you get a sense of, oh, I am just getting started.
Yeah, that's not so much what it was for me. It was, I think, more of a laziness thing where
Lazy? Are you a lazy artist?
I am a lazy artist.
Digital artists, they're all so lazy.
It's true. It's all true. I think it was more of a lazy thing where I just I kind of went mindless, and kept working on it. We were at the cafe, we were listening to an audiobook.
Together, might I add. It was the highlight of my life.
The highlight of your life and the detriment of mine. We'll talk about that in a moment. But because of that, I was just kind of mindlessly working and continuing to work and work and work and work, instead of being mindful and thoughtful about what I was doing.
Yeah.
Which is, in my opinion, a bad place to be. But hey, there's the second one.
And she looks awesome. Her proportions are so good. You are
Thank you.
really good at nailing proportions. I am so prone to wonkiness, and you're just hey, eye goes here, nose goes here. I'm getting it right the first time.
Yeah, but my lines are still just absolute garbage. So we're working on that. We're working on everything, not at once, but slowly. Piecemeal. You can't try to do everything at once. It becomes too crazy. But yeah, I do not like listening to audiobooks with someone else because, for many reasons.
Well, you didn't have control of the pause button. I did.
Yes, and I need time for my brain to so we listened to this audiobook for 3 hours straight in this cafe.
Magical.
That is 3 times too long.
You can't complain. You had forgotten your AirPods, and I graciously shared mine, and I graciously started your book with you
Which
and put mine on
you
pause.
like, and you
I do
have almost finished now.
Yes.
Bartimaeus.
It's a great book.
The Amulet of
Sarkanoff?
Samarkand.
Samwise.
Samarkand.
Sam's Club.
It's a magic book.
It's a
in
banger.
the vein of Harry Potter.
It's like Harry Potter, but if Voldemort's original idea of the wizards being in control of everything and the muggles all just being their sheep, not sheep, but commoners, had come to life and been a reality, and we're living in the aftermath of that.
Yeah, it's a fun little book.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just can't listen to something that long and not give my brain a brief moment of respite.
Yeah.
Respite.
Yeah. I guess that's how it goes for some people.
But yeah, this guy was probably my favorite out of all 5.
Loved him.
Looking back on it, he is lacking something, and I'm hoping to, he feels a little, the paint feels wispy, it doesn't feel solid, it feels like the rendering at the end doesn't feel very solid. Like maybe there's not a lot of contrast is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
That's what I'm hoping to figure out here while watching this back.
Maybe not enough hard edges.
Ooh, potentially, but
Yeah.
as you know, I do love my hard edges.
Yeah, I'm just not seeing any yet. And normally you do a lot of hard edges. I mean, other than your lines, but so far we've got soft, soft, soft.
Soft, soft, soft.
Soft, soft, soft.
So with this one, I did not necessarily do the rub out technique. This was, I think, while we were listening to... Actually, this wasn't while we were listening to the book. This was a different day. But either way, what I was doing was I did like a dark pass, or a shadow pass, and then I did a light pass. And then I did another shadow pass and another light pass.
I think it was so good, though. Look at this. You captured the intensity of his gaze. He looks like a sad pastor or priest.
It feels a little flat and, a little unfinished in some areas, considering I spent maybe an hour and a half on that, maybe 2 hours.
This is the one that you did while we listened to Bartimaeus.
Yes, and I hate this one.
I like this one.
I think this one ends up looking pretty bad.
Uh-oh, Ben, do we have enough in common?
What?
I'm just kidding.
The lifts on this turn out pretty bad and make things feel pretty awkward. But yeah, I don't know. This, again, having that mindless process where essentially you go into automation mode. As someone who has created art for a long time, I strive very hard to avoid that. And this is why when I sculpt, I very often don't listen to anything at all while I'm creating my 3D artwork. I will typically,
You're a psychopath.
I'm a psychopath,
No.
yeah. While I am working, if there's something like mundane and repetitive, I will then listen to a podcast or something where I'm like, okay, I've done this a million times. I know what I need to do. I know it'll take me an hour. Let's put on a podcast and get this over with. But if I'm sitting here and I'm like, essentially what we're doing here is studying, practicing.
Yeah.
I should not be listening to something. I should be thinking about my brush strokes that I'm going to make.
Yes.
I should be creating a brush stroke and then saying, oh, should I have done that?
Yeah.
Is that effective?
Well, I
That's
gotta
definitely
say,
not what I did here.
I loved this one, actually. I think it is so vibrant and striking and decisive. So, I don't know. Maybe you should listen to books with me more often. Clearly, it works on some level.
This is the way
I
to
like
go.
this one a lot, and I thought you did an amazing job. And you're being too hard on yourself. You are on a journey just like me. Not everything's going to turn out perfect, and you should be happy with the work you did. And I just think this is amazing. I think you did a really, really good job.
I know I can do better.
Oh my gosh, I wish I could do this good. This is so good. I think it's great.
You are far too kind,
Yeah.
as always.
Oh my goodness. I like the book though. I like listening with you. I think that's fun to listen to something together.
I do like all the voices that the guy does, that the narrator
great
does.
narrator, yeah.
Except for the main character, well, one of the main characters, Nathan, the kid. The voice
Nathaniel.
that he does for the kid it makes me want to turn off the book.
Well, Nathaniel's character is often a little imperious as it is, a little too imperious to be completely likable.
Oh yeah, he's not likable at all.
Yeah, I
he's
don't-
way too annoying.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of inflated opinion of himself, but I guess that's realistic. Anyway, this turned out amazing.
Ugh, thank
You
you.
are so silly. Don't be so hard on yourself. You're on a journey, my friend. You're on a journey.
And this one was because Abby had been doing a bunch of interesting sketches that she'll be talking about here in her upcoming video,
Okay.
which was essentially trying to replicate traditional brush pen artwork. So I started with that idea, but I just kind of kept it loose and sketchy and just kind of played around. Maybe what you
Oh,
might call a
wow.
traditional marker sketch of Ben's.
Yeah.
And just, played around.
I love that. So were you so for me, what I was doing in terms of traditionalism was I wasn't using the undo button or erasing.
Right.
So
I was not doing that, no.
You didn't do any undo or erasing here?
Oh, no, I did. I did do all of that.
Oh,
I'm
you
saying I
did
wasn't
one-
doing your
doing-
challenge
Oh,
of
so
integrating all that.
Gotcha.
This was more just going back to my syrup brush roots, only using one brush, and mainly just using hard edges, doing a little bit of blending here and there, but just like doing big stuff,
yeah.
fading out, just doing like whatever.
that makes me think that this is your like fall back on, like if you're tired and you don't know what to draw and you just want to draw, this is your fall back on this method. I think this is a
This
happy
is
place for you.
one of many to just like mess around. This was what I would call, you know, again, the whole idea here with all of these pieces was sketch was the word in the back of my head. And this was no different. This was like just a sketch, kind of playing around and having fun. This, using the lasso tool, all that kind of stuff.
She looks amazing.
Is a lot of fun.
I love the way you get all these different hues in your skin tones, and they look so good. They don't look muddy. They look very lifelike. Her skin is rendered gorgeously. No, you did a great job. You are so silly.
I would very strongly disagree.
I don't.
But you are very kind.
This one
was
lacks
more of the
your
rub
hard
out
edges
technique.
that you normally do, so that's probably why you don't really. You described him as wispy, and I think
Well,
that's
he
why.
lacks contrast, I think.
Yes.
This one lacks some contrast.
But her proportions are on point. Like, I would have an eye like out to the right too far or too big. You're just like there. And of course, this guy just exudes charm and sweetness. I think he's adorable and I love him.
So charm. And if you want some more charm, click that subscribe button.
And comment below with ideas of what we can do to improve as artists.
Share your charm online with the hashtag Drawbli.
Drawbli. And this is the part
Where we say Goomba.
goodbye. Ben, are you telling me that you want me to start saying Goomba? Because
I'm not saying that I want you to. I'm just saying think about it.
I'm saying long ago, I think I did, and you were like, oh, hey, that's my word.
I don't know. Just go ahead and like say it once.
Goomba.
No.